Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to the final review of the Friday the 13th franchise for Halloween month. And I hope you've enjoyed me reviewing all the Friday the 13th films. Series been wanting to review for a while, so the perfect time to review the beginning of Halloween month. So now, one thing I will say is that why did I? If you're asking why did I skip Freddy vs. Jason? Well, that's because, from my perspective, it's more of Freddy's film more than Jason, because Freddy's the reason why he brought back Jason, and Jason's mostly doing all the even though Jason's doing mostly all the killing though, but it's more of Freddy's story, more of his plan that why he brought back Jason, and it's more of Robert Englund. He's the reason why the characters they need to get rid of Freddy more, because Jason was brought into the game, so that's why I look at it. It's more Freddy Krueger's movie, more of a Nightmare on Elm Street film than a Friday the 13th film to me, though. So that's why I'm skipping until I review the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. So that film's gonna have to wait. So yeah, but now I'm skipping. Now I'm going all the way to from 2009 remake or reboot is which way you call it though. Um, if it's technically if you count Freddy versus Jason, this is the which makes the 11th. This is technically the 12th one in the series. So, I'm scratching my nose there. So yeah, so Friday the 13th from 2009, which right away I don't get why this is called a killer cut. I don't get why it's called that. There's no need for it to be called a killer's cut. I don't see nothing special about it. But anyway, yeah. But except for that though. To the 2009 one, it's directed by Marcus Nispel, who directed the 2003 remake of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Then he directed the piece of crap Conan the Barbarian remake, Jason Momoa, which that sucked. But I think he also directed the film called Pathfinder with Carl Urban, which, yeah, Pathfinder I think overall don't mind because I like Carl Urban. But this film I like. I like the Icon remakes. I like this a lot better than the Nightmare on Elm Street remake, and I definitely like this a lot better than Rob Zombie's Halloween. Definitely like those more than both of those films. Those films are pieces of shit, especially Rob Zombie's Halloween. And I think the actor who plays Jason Voorhees is a lot better than Jackie Earle Haley's Krueger or what was the other one? I forget what the other one's like. Tyler something who plays Michael Myers. Tyler Mane, that was his name was. I think Derek Mears, who played Jason Voorhees, I think he did a good job at a really good job, of matter of fact. And I would think I pretty much like him as the second best Jason Voorhees behind Kane Hodder. I mean, all the other ones they do a good job of playing Jason Voorhees in all the previous films. But this one, I think this Jason was much more the way he was in this film. He was much more of a badass in the film. But still, King Hodder, he's still the best Jason Voorhees, hands down still. But I think he did a really good job with this film, playing this Jason Voorhees. Definitely more of a badass Jason Voorhees. As for the supporting cast, you have Jared Padalecki, who I remember him from the remake of House of Wax. He's also on the TV show Supernatural as well. But he hasn't really gone on to do much, from the TV show. Then as for film wise, he hasn't gone on to do much. And Jared Padalecki, I think he was pretty good in this film. I liked him for what role he had in the House of Wax remake. Yes, you have Danielle Panabaker, who remember from Sky High, and then she, I forget whether there was another film that she was in. Well, she was in John Carpenter's The War, which was not that great, sadly, because it's John Carpenter. But The War from 2010 was not great at all. But she was in that film. But there was another film that she was in. I forgot though. But I know that she's in the TV show of The Flash. I know she's in that show. You have Aaron Yu, who plays the character Chewie. Of course, he was in Disturbia. He played the friend of Shia LaBeouf's character. Um, and then when the film came out, even though it got, once again, like all the other films in the franchise, got negative reviews, even though it has a decent rating on IMDb, it has, for all of the, compared to all the previous ones, like the first film or the sixth film, this one's a 5.6 on IMDb, and which is lower than the like Rob Zombie's Halloween one, because that has a much higher rating, which I put this above Rob Zombie's Halloween. This is a 25% Rotten Tomatoes. But beside that, this film, when it came out, had a huge opening because it came out on the Valentine's Day weekend, Friday the 13th, 2009. But on the Valentine's Day weekend, had a huge opening, made up an impressive $40 million in opening weekend, and worldwide made $91 million. Without excluding Freddy versus Jason, this technically would be the solo Jason movie, be the highest in the franchise if it wasn't for Freddy versus Jason. But yeah, but it was a huge impact on when it came out. And now story wise, it opens up, and the opening is in black and white because it's kind of like doing like of the first film, where it's like it's kind of like the way like Adrian King's character, but it's not that character though, being chased by Mrs. Voorhees. Now I would say though, it's only about a couple like 2 minutes I think, and it's very quick. But I didn't care for the person who played Mrs. Voorhees. I thought she was just like being too much of it, like, oh, you killed my son and all that stuff. Betsy Palmer is still better as whoever this played as this Mrs. Voorhees. Then Jason has a boy, sees her mom get decapitated. Then it cuts to the present, where you have this group of campers where they're trying to find this marijuana field. And the one girl who plays Amanda Righetti, who plays Whitney. She's the sister to Jared Padalecki's character. Her and her boyfriend, some other friends, they're camping. One guy, I think it was the guy who was in Live Free or Die Hard. He was like the computer expert in Live Free or Die Hard. I think also he was also in the Chernobyl Diaries. He's explaining about Camp Crystal Lake, and well, you get this other couple, they're going to have sex, and the guy who's explaining the story finds the weed, and he gets killed by Jason, and then which is this scene right here where the girl is like showing herself right there. Well, where her boyfriend steps out to look, and you get like a way of Jason like shows how badass he is. Like a different kill, I would say. He gets her in a sleeping bag, hangs her upside down over the opening campfire. Well, she's burning to death inside the sleeping bag. I thought it was like a cool kill as well. And while he's running to her, he gets his foot caught in a bear trap. And that was the other thing. Now with Jason Voorhees, he now sets traps now, which I kind of don't mind because what they're trying to do, because they're trying to like bring Jason back how he was, like doing more of a serious, brutal killer, like how he originally was. Which I guess people didn't like that though, but that didn't bother me. I like this Jason Voorhees, how the way he does in this film. He's now like, because he's living on his own in the woods, and he's like sets all these traps for intruders for him to kill, I guess. And now he burns his gun sleeping back upside down. That's a cool death right there. Then while Jared Padalecki's sister, Whitney is her name, with her boyfriend, they go to the old Camp Crystal Lake cabins. She finds this locket, which is Jason Voorhees' mother, a picture of Jason Voorhees' mother in it, and the boyfriend says it kind of looks like you because she kind of like resembles Jason's mother. They find her head. Jason comes to the floor, kills the boyfriend. She runs. finds the other guy who's caught in the bear trap, tries to help, but Jason runs up and stabs him right through. Well, slashes right into him in the head, and then he runs towards her and think he was gonna kill her, but then it cuts to the title. And this is a long opening for before the show's the title. I think it's about 15 minutes, I think, if not more. Yeah, it's like a long ways before they show the title. And then it cuts it's like a month or two later, and Jared Padalecki's looking for looking for his sister. And you get another group of teens. One of them is Danielle Panabaker. Then Aaron Yu, who's he's like the drug and the he's basically like the high or drug whatever. He's like whacked out of his mind. And then you get the asshole of the group named Trent, played by Travis Van Winkle. And he doesn't give a shit. He doesn't give a crap about the guy Jared Padalecki's character looking for his sister is missing. He doesn't give a crap. Shows what a complete douchebag he is. I mean, the guy does a good job of playing a good a-hole, but still, it's the character. He doesn't give a crap about if the guy's sister's gone missing. He only cares about himself. Then you get to one part where Danielle Panabaker, she cares. And there's a scene where Jared Padalecki, she visits this old woman, saying she ain't dead. She ain't missing. She's dead. And then he goes and visits this guy who's like a hillbilly redneck type of guy. I would say hillbilly because he talks like one. Which I keep freaking scratching my nose. That comes to that guy. Jason kills him once again. I don't know why I'm scratching my nose. I don't know why. But he kills him. Gets us. Which there are two ways. I saw this in the theater. One I saw in the theater, and it's also on here. He gets his throat cut, and then also in the alternate version, he cuts the guy's head off. Which I would prefer that than him getting his throat cut. And also one thing it shows a reference for the first film, because it shows back in 1980, and then the guy, because he rips out Jason Voorhees, he wears a bag over his head, just like how he did in part 2. He wore a bag over his head. He rips it off him before he kills him. And then he finds the mask behind something, and he puts it on. Now it kind of makes it like it's part 3 and 4 now, because he gets the mask. Although, how he gets the mask in this was, because how he got the mask in part 3 was from the character Shelley. He wore it as a joke. That's how he got from that though. But here he just finds it in storage. But still. And back with the group of teens, he goes to Trent's his parents' place or somewhere. It's next to Camp Crystal Lake, and I think it's a summer place. And when one of the other couple, they go out to the lake. One's driving the boat. One is topless. So it's not water skiing, but it's like waterboarding, I think. And then you get another good kill where Jason, he shoots an arrow, goes right through the guy's head. Good effect. I thought it was a good effect. I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell if that was CG'd or not. But if not, it's a really good effect. And it makes the boat go faster, and it hits the girl. She sees Jason, goes to the dock, thinks it's all right, but then stabs right to the head. Of course, when he lifts her up, you see a flash, boobies. And then Jared Padalecki goes with Danielle Panabaker to look for her sister in the forest. And when it cuts the nighttime, they go to the Crystal Lake cabins. They see Jason with a body, and he thinks he hears something. And he turns on all the lights and starts looking through wherever, but then finds nothing. And then of course, the whole time he's been living underground underneath Camp Crystal Lake, which a lot of people would point out, why is there underground tunnels to Camp Crystal Lake? That's the part that is understandable though, but still didn't bother me. And also another people don't like is he's been keeping Clay, that's Jared Padalecki's character, Clay, his sister, captive because she resembles Jason's mother. That's why he's not. That's why he didn't kill her at the opening of the film, because she looks like Jason's mother, and she has the locket still. And you see him like sharpening his machete too, and then you get funny moments with Aaron Yu, like he's like the when he's whacked out of his mind, like you show like when they do beer pong, like puts the beer in his stinky shoe and he sips it, or when he's like doing this a shot that's on fire, burns his lip and breaks a chair. And then he says he's gonna fix it, so he goes out into the tool shed to fix it. Then he sees gets a hockey stick, plays around, and then Jason's behind him. He's like, "Oh, you looking for this? It completes your outfit." But he knows that that is no laughing matter. He tries to get a screwdriver, but then he gets his shoved right into his throat, and you see him cough up blood. And then his other friend, Lawrence, goes out there while when Clay and Jenna, was Danielle Panabaker's character, they come back. Well, there's a part where Whitney escapes and she sees like the asshole Trent guy, cheating on his girlfriend with what was the other girl that was with them, and you get a lot of nudity in this film. This film has a lot of nudity, probably the most in all the franchise, of course, but yeah, this does have much more of the graphic nudity in this film, more than Jason Goes to Hell, more than Part 5, A New Beginning. But she gets recaptured though. But then when Clay and Jenna they come back, then Lawrence, the power goes off, and then Lawrence goes out to the shed, finds his friend hung upside down. Jason goes after him, and then the guy Lawrence, he stabs in the leg. At least he did something against Jason. He stabs in the leg, but still it doesn't matter. Jason's like I thought how Jason's more of a badass. He's running full force. He's running way more. I mean, people say that oh, he's running full force. This is like the first time people ever see him run that fast. I mean, and it makes me think back because we saw in Part 3 and Part 4 where he's running after the two female leads. He's not running like how he was in this Jason in this film, but he's still running to catch up to them. So for this one, he's running full force. He's quick, and he took his action, throws it, and impales Lawrence to the back. He's yelling out help, but it's using him as bait. But he picks him up, turns him over, and then makes him go right through his chest. So that's another good kill. And then with that girl that was cheating with the Travis Van Winkle's character, she, of course, the typical thing when you think something's behind the shower curtain, not there though, but right behind her, takes her and impales her through some deer antlers. And then the cop who was talking with Clay earlier comes by. Jason, like ninja, goes like old ninja, takes a fire poker, stabs right through the cop's eye. I like the shower. It shows from the side view, goes like through the cop and right straight through the door. I like the way that way it's shot. Then Travis Van Winkle, he gets separate from the other two. The truck passes by. He thinks like it's him driving, but it's not. He gets stabbed, then he gets impaled through the guy's back of his truck, and truck drives away with him on it. And then it gets to where Clay and Jenna, they get to Camp Crystal Lake, and they find the underground. They find his sister, and one thing that sucked, which surprised me, at the same time it sucked though, because it's like usually in all the franchise there's like only one or two though, but I thought that it was a surprise to me that Danielle Panabaker, she gets killed. When I first saw it, I thought she was gonna make it, but surprise, when they're going to this exit, she gets stabbed right through. Even Clay's like, no, but couldn't be helped though. And that sucked. I like Danielle Panabaker. It was surprising that she died in this film. Because she was doing all those things, willing to help Clay, but oh well. But it surprised me at the same time. It sucked. And then they go to this part where this is like abandoned school bus, which leads out to the tunnel, and then eventually gets to like that hillbilly's place because he had the machinery, and Jason Jared Padalecki he tries to fight Jason, and then the machine turns on, and Whitney distracts him with the locket, his mother and all that, and enough time where Jared puts the chain, wraps around him, throws it in the machine, tries to put him in there, and then Amanda Righetti takes a machete, saying, "Jason, say hello to mommy." Stabs him right close right here. And then now one thing I would say the ending is it's a typical ending. I mean, even I saw this. I expect to see this coming because they put him in the lake, and then when Jared goes to go towards Amanda, Jason pops out to grab her the last second. That I did not care for. I mean, that was I could see that coming from a mile away type of ending. Even I saw that. Even I knew that was coming when I first saw that. So I was like, okay. He's gonna pop out. He's not dead. Yeah, I knew that. I saw that coming. So yeah. So so Friday the 13th, 2009. I do like it. It's another, probably if you call it a remake. I'll put this up there. Definitely like this a lot better than Rob Zombie's Halloween, and a lot better than Nightmare on Elm Street. And probably like if this Jason met the Rob Zombie's Michael Myers, this guy would mess up Michael Myers up, left, down, and center. He's more mobile. He's running faster. And he takes like ways to kill his victims. This Jason right here, definitely a more badass looking. Derek Mears, he did a good job as playing Jason. I would put this. He's the second best Jason next to Kane Hodder, definitely. Marcus Nispel, he did a good job directing. But both films I like the remakes he did. I like Texas Chainsaw Massacre just a bit more. And the pacing, it's 97 minutes, but it's good pace. It's like keeps like all the pacing like all the other films like within 97 minutes, and then a little less than 80 minutes, or at 80 minutes at most. Problems like the shocking ending didn't surprise me. The score by Steve Jablonsky, which worked with Michael Bay on countless scores, because even Michael Bay he produced on. Like he did on the Nightmare on Elm Street and the Hitcher remake and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake. And of course a lot of Michael Bay's other films. I didn't care for the score because for me I was kind of like hearing like how it was from the remake of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But I think that score is a bit better than Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But here it's not much. It was kind of like sounding the same of it. But still. As for the cast, I like Jared Padalecki. I thought he was pretty good as the character of Clay. Amanda Righetti, who played his sister Whitney, I thought she was fine. She did fine. Danielle Panabaker, I like. It's too bad that she died. It surprised me. I didn't expect that, but still it sucked. But she still did good. But I wish she would have lived. Aaron Yu, his character was pretty funny. I liked him. Just sort of the pothead of the group. Derek Mears definitely did a good job. Badass Jason Voorhees, to be honest. Some people just didn't like how the way they did with Jason. Excuse me. Some people didn't like the way how they did Jason, like him, like being more of a taken serious type of look, or him doing all this other thing like the traps and all that. All that stuff with this new Jason didn't bother me. So, and since then they've been trying to develop a new Friday the 13th film for some time. they gave it a release date for a new one. It was supposed to be sometime during this. Yeah, they gave a release date to this upcoming October Friday the 13th, but they just knew was countless problems and they just took it off the release date. I think they scrapped the whole project altogether. I mean, there was one point a while back they were going to do it found footage, and although the department wonders that could have been interesting, a Friday the 13th found footage style. How people are going to run away from Jason with their right behind him like it's camera held. But I think it's for the better because I don't think we don't need to go any more of the franchise because they try to pull on like the new Leatherface film, which I have no interest about. The prequel I have no interest about. Like they need to stop doing all these for the Halloween. Yeah, they said they're bringing back Jamie Lee Curtis's character. Why? How is she gonna fit if it's gonna be like a direct after the original film? And of course, with the long delayed animatedville horror movie, it just comes to times when franchises need to come to an end. They just keep on doing it just for the sake of it, for money and all that. They just need to end with a franchise. Create some new horror icons, new horror original ideas and stuff, or make new horror icons like these guys. I mean, to me, as for the new horror films of today, the best horror franchise I could probably say is the Conjuring films, because those films are making a lot more money and people are liking those films. And probably say James Wan is technically the new horror director of today, technically. But still, this is a time when franchises need to end. And the whole thing, though, this new film is scrapped altogether. I think it's for the better. I think that they don't need to make any more Friday the 13th films, or Texas Chainsaw Massacre films, or Halloween films, or Nightmare on Elm Street films. They said about doing another remake and having Kevin Bacon playing. I love Kevin Bacon though, but still, you don't need to make another remake of Nightmare on Elm Street. It's a time when enough's enough. Make something new or original icons or something like that. You don't need to keep on prologuing any more of these franchises anymore. It's been, especially with a huge years gap before each one has been made. You know, it says something when how much it takes a long time for a film to get made between the years gaps. You know, so I gotta stop that now. I'm just going too long on this. I'll say that for another time. I'm going off tangent here, but the 2009 Friday the 13th film I like. Couple of nitpicks though, but still, like, this killer cut is unnecessary. There's nothing killer cut about it. But yeah, this is definitely a badass Jason Voorhees, and had a good time seeing it back in 2009 in the theaters. So yeah, I'll give it a thumbs up. But still, Kane Hodder, he's still the best Jason Voorhees. Other than that though, I overall like the film. A good lead, like Jared Padalecki. Some good kills. Definitely interesting kill, like the girl being burned upside down in the sleeping bag. I like that kill. Definitely the most interesting kill of the franchise in this film, I would say. So yeah, and if it wasn't for Friday vs. Jason, this is technically be the highest grossing one in the franchise for Jason Voorhees solo. And also another thing, besides the poster for Part 7, The New Blood, I like. And I will say I like this poster for this new one right here. I figured try to widen and show it. Oh hell, it's basically this poster right there. I like that poster right there. So yeah, I'm gonna end right here though. So I like this film. Definitely technically a good remake of along with the other ones I put, but definitely a lot better than Rob Zombie's Halloween or Nightmare on Elm Street, or even The Hitcher. That was another one that Michael Bay helped make in. So, yeah. So I hope you enjoyed my review of the Friday the 13th films, this whole franchise. So I hope you all enjoyed it. Another great way to kickstart off the Halloween month. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more stuff coming for this Halloween month. And we'll see you later.